If you love the idea of making homemade bread, but you think it's really hard and it scares you, then focaccia's the bread to do. It's super easy, and first we're going to start off with some lukewarm water, and to that I'm going to add in half a teaspoon of yeast. So the yeast is going to help ferment our bread, give us a beautiful flavour and air. And now we're going to add in about a tablespoon of honey, and that's what the yeast is going to feed off and make it nice and active. Give that a stir to dissolve. Now we'll let that sit for a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to mix our dry ingredients. So this is just plain flour, all-purpose, nothing special. And to that we're going to add in about 18 grams of salt. The salt's going to give us that beautiful salty focaccia flavour. Now it's really important to mix the salt and the flour well together, because if you have any salt clumps, then it can prevent the dough from rising. Okay, now that the dry ingredients are mixed, we can add in our liquid. So we've got our yeast, honey, water. Just want to pour that straight in. And we've also got some olive oil. So focaccia is all about olive oil and saltiness. So the olive oil in the actual dough is going to prevent it from sticking too much to the sides as it rises. And now we just want to stir it all till it combines and it's nice and smooth. So the reason why we want quite a loose, runny dough is because the more water you have in bread, the better. The lighter it is and the crispier the crust is on the outside. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Being very careful, scrape down the sides. We're going to pop this in the oven to proof for 30 minutes. The Electrolux oven has 19 preset programs, including a proofing setting, which is going to give our dough the perfect rise. Okay, so the dough has been proofed and it's got that beautiful yeasty smell. Now we're going to turn it out onto the tray for its second rise. So this is a simple baking sheet. We're going to pour 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Like I said, focaccia is all about the olive oil and salt. This is going to help get that lovely golden crust on the focaccia when it bakes. So olive oil is spread out nice and evenly. Now we're going to gently release this dough onto the tray. Oh, it's so beautiful and soft. I'm going to pour a little bit more olive oil on top just to help me stretch it. So now it's all about getting it to the edges. I'm going to do it nice and gentle because I don't want to burst any of those beautiful bubbles that have started to form while it's been proofing. Now I'm going to pop that back into the oven to proof for another 30 minutes. Alright, so the dough's just had its second proof and I can see how beautiful the little air bubbles are that are forming in there. We're going to knock some of them out now and do some dimples in the actual dough to give it that real authentic focaccia look. And we're going to make a saltwater brine to pour over the top. So we've just got a touch of salt and water going into a bowl. Like I said, focaccia, it's all about the salt and the olive oil. Okay, so the salt is dissolved and the brine's ready. So now we're going to do some dimplings. So just push in all the way to the bottom. I really like to use my 3 middle fingers. And this is going to break a little bit of the air, but it's going to give the focaccia a lovely consistency. Now we're going to pour over our saltwater brine. And then this is going to go back into the oven to proof for another 30 minutes. Okay, so it's in for the final proof, then we're going to take it out after 30 minutes. Electrolux ovens are multifunction, which means it's as simple as choosing a preset program and letting the oven do the cooking. Baking bread with steam gives a consistent rise and a crispy crust, turning any home cook into a great baker. Okay, while the oven's heating up, we're going to salt the top of our beautiful focaccia ready for baking. And now back in the oven for half an hour. peppers. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but one final drizzle of olive oil, and then it's ready to eat.